Evening and welcome to the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting for Thursday, January 15th, 2026. All board members and legal counsel are present. We'll begin with approval of the minutes from our last meeting on January 8th, 2026.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes for January 8th, 2026. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have claims for payment dated January 16th in the amount of $127,900.30.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion has been properly made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. On to requests, we have 4 handicap parking sign renewals for 720 South 12th Street, 617 South 7th Street, 407 North 17th Street, and 210 North 5th Street.
Good evening, Board of Works. I'm Aaron Stevens. I'm the Administrative Resource Officer with the Richmond Police Department. And before you, you have those 4 handicap sign renewal requests at the addresses that have been previously given to you. I've personally checked those, and the conditions do warrant that a handicap sign be permitted or renewal of the permit as requested.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded for 4 handicap sign renewals. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have 2 requests for service.
Thank you again. I come with 2 requests for services, one for a hidden drive sign to be posted at 4211 Bachmeyer Road. I've driven by there several times, and in the fact that it is a hidden driveway leading to that residence, anyone going to speed or above that speed will never see any traffic coming out of there. I would request that you go ahead and approve that one, as well as on South 3rd Street. That request is for signage to be posted on South 3rd Street to the west of the courthouse for 2 spaces for the Wayne County coroner. At this time, their vehicles are parked in front of the courthouse, which is different or much farther away from their office area. So I would ask that you please accept these service requests.
Aaron, I know they're looking at the possibility of putting a curved driveway in there. So have you talked to them if they decide to do that, where these 2 spots would be?
I did not put the cart before the horse on that one yet. I just know that the conditions exist right now for that. Based upon the future work that's going to be going on in that area, with your permission, if you want me to delay this right now, I can come back when I get further information as to a timeline on when that's going to be done.
I don't see any reason to delay it, but I'd hate to go ahead and install the signs and then have that driveway come down where you had one of the parking spaces.
Yes.
So I'd get with Steve and make sure we put them in the right spot.
I can certainly do that.
Okay, yeah.
If
I'd
there's
move
any,
for approval.
if there's any clarification or update, I'll bring that back to you.
Okay, I
Second.
move for approval.
Second.
Just to verify, this is, you're moving to approve the South 3rd Street request. Let's do these separately.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yes, South 3rd Street.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the request for service on South 3rd Street. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Then I'd move for the approval of 4211 Bachmeyer Road.
Second.
Motion has been properly made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much. This concludes my request.
Thank you. Next, we'll move on to contracts, beginning with a return to contract number 125-2025.
Good afternoon, James Dahl, Richmond Police Department. I know we had some questions and concerns from last time, so I kind of wrote everything down, so hopefully I can cover all those topics. Richmond Police Department is requesting approval of the animal shelter contract with the Henry County Humane Society in the amount of $41,200, covering up to 400 animals for a calendar year of 2026. In August of 25, this board tabled the contract and asked the city to explore alternative providers and lower cost options. We did that. A formal bid packet was issued and sent to all reasonable regional shelters and agencies, and all of them declined to submit a proposal or provide services. We also explored reducing the contract from 400 animals to 200. As part of that review, the shelter advised that the update state requirements related to spay and neuter, quarantine, and veterinary compliance are now reflected in their pricing structure. When applied to lower capacity contract, those requirements resulted in a higher overall cost, making 200 annual animal option more expensive than the original contract. I also want to address prior concerns regarding the lower shelter numbers. Following procedural changes and additional supervisory oversight in the last quarter of 2025, intake was reviewed from October through December and totaled 52 animals. As a result, the original 400 contract remains the least expensive and only viable option to the city. The city has exhausted the alternative request by the board as recommending approval to ensure uninterrupted animal sheltering services.
How many animals does this cover again?
400.
400, right. Is there any stipulation in the new contract, if you only take 200 animals up there, that they don't charge us the 41?
From what I understand, when we sent them up the new contract for the 200, the way they have to go by state requirements, they were going to charge a higher fee, and I believe it was in the packet you guys may have got. And it was going to be where they were charging more for those services, so the contract for the 200 was actually going to be more expensive than the 400. So it was, for us, it was better just to keep the lower number. And if, hopefully with our continued oversight and our procedural changes, we had a quarter of 52, and if we do that out, we'd be pushing to 200 once we get to that.
Don't have any other question? Move for approval.
Second.
Motion has been properly made and seconded to approve contract number 125-2025. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have contract number 3-2026 with Integrity Testing and Safety Administrators.
Good evening, everyone. Chris Becker, Roseview Transit. Roseview Transit's seeking the approval of contract number 3-2026 with Integrity Testing and Safety Administrators to do our drug and alcohol testing. This is something we really don't have a choice. NDOT, who is the grant manager, our federal grant that we get, they kind of determine what the agencies throughout the state, who they use, and so it was determined by them they want to switch vendors from DISA, which the rest of the cities will continue to use, but they're going with this particular company. I'm looking at the numbers. It looks like they may be a little less expensive in their services, and I've already spoken with Michael Rittberger, and he wants to kind of know how it goes with this company, and they may end up possibly looking at switching over to this company as well later.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion has been properly made and seconded to approve contract number 3-2026. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Oh, yeah, and then we'll need an additional motion to authorize Chris Becker to sign.
I so moved to authorize Chris to sign the contract.
Second.
Motion has been properly made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Chris. We now have addendums, beginning with addendum number 1 to contract number 192-2024 with Guide Studio.
Good evening, Lindsay Darnell, Community Development Coordinator. I do have Pat Smoker, Director of Sanitation, as well with me. The City of Richmond completed the branding process in a whole, but we are now needing to amend the contract to include the Sanitation Department's recycling branding. On September 29th, 2025, the city received a requested proposal from Guide Studio, entered into revised contract number 192-2024 for professional and consulting services related to the city's rebranding project for the Mayor's Office of the City of Richmond, Indiana. The city now seeks approval of an addendum to expand the scope of services. The addendum scope includes the establishment of a recycling initiative for the City of Richmond Sanitation District with all services to be performed in compliance with and subject to the terms, conditions, and reporting requirements of the applicable Recycling Market Development Grant Program from the Indiana Department of Environmental Management awarded to the city. So the mayor's office is requesting approval of this contract amendment with Guide Studio under revised contract number 192-2024 to Guide Studio in the amount not to exceed $18,720 per the proposal provided by Guide Studio. And then I do have Pat here to answer any questions that you may have.
I assume this is coming down, your budget, not the mayor's budget.
Yeah, I couldn't talk him into that.
You couldn't talk him into paying for it? Oh, okay.
And it's a 50/50 grant, so the sanitary district we applied in 2024 for this. By the time it was awarded, we were under contract, and for the grant and ready for this, the city had undergone rebranding as well. So to maintain consistency with that branding effort, we wanted to be under that umbrella. But yes, we will get, as part of that, we're changing a lot of things in recycling, and we needed rebranding and marketing and public education to go with that, and that is a portion of the grant itself, which we will get 50% reimbursement to the sanitary district. But yes, all of this will come from the sanitary district funds.
Just out of curiosity, would the new branding kind of be built off of the city branding that was completed last year, or would this be something entirely new?
It will be basically like a sub-brand, so it's not going to be identical, but it should have the same color palette and same design. It won't be exact, but it'll be like a sub-brand branched off. We did receive some examples from Guide Studio from similar cities that had to do a sub-brand for a utility. So yeah, a sub-brand, it'll still mesh well with the overall city brand.
Okay, thanks.
To add to that, we wanted that consistency, and the reason it's going to be slightly different is the sanitary district serves the community outside of the Richmond city limits, so we wanted to look a little different from that, but still to kind of be consistent with the overall brand.
Makes sense.
I assume you have adequate funding then to, once the branding is done, to rechange vehicles or signage or so on. Have you looked at what that cost is going to be?
Yeah, so there are other funds. We had more than the $18,000 set aside for the remarketing, so this is the branding part, but yes, we have sufficient funds for the other aspects that would go along with that part. And the grant itself covered 2 other pieces of equipment as well. So in total, I think we applied for approximately $500,000. So we'd get $250,000 from the state and $250,000 from sanitary district budgets.
I think that ought to cover it. Okay. I'd move for approval then.
Second?
A motion has been properly made and seconded to approve addendum number 1 to contract number 192-2024 with Guide Studio. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Then next we have addendum number 1 to contract number 144-2025, which is a fire services agreement with Spring Grove.
Good evening, Tracy McGinnis, City Controller.
Good evening.
This addendum is to reduce the amount of revenue that we are to receive from Spring Grove for their fire contract. Due to the expenses with our fire department that are included in the calculation to determine the amount that they're to pay has surpassed what Spring Grove will receive in their max levy. So we have agreed to take what they receive, which is $13,185 less than the original amount of the contract. So the contract now is for $65,404. That is what Spring Grove will get for their max levy, which they will pay us for fire protection service. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
How do they pay that, Tracy? They pay it quarterly or?
Spring Grove makes 2 payments a year.
Okay, every 6 months. I have no further questions. I'd move for approval.
Second?
Motion has been properly made and seconded to approve contract number 144-2025, addendum 1. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have a couple miscellaneous items. The first is the acceptance of the plat for the Midwest Industrial Park. This is something that Joanne and I have previously worked on. Last month, the Richmond Plat Committee approved a minor subdivision that was requested by the county's Economic Development Corporation to rework the property lines in the Midwest Industrial Park. Currently, you have a parent parcel that is still kind of defined by meets and boundaries, and then over time, properties have been carved out of that, so you have this sort of odd fragmented parent parcel. So this request, which again was approved by the Plat Committee, sort of reconfigured those property lines in a way that is easier for the EDC to market to potential businesses, and it kind of makes more sense as far as the property lines go. So because these properties are owned by the city, it is a requirement that the Board of Works approves these. Sarah Mitchell from the EDC is here if you have any questions, but otherwise I would entertain a motion.
I don't really have any questions unless Sarah came all the way for the meeting and would like to say something about it. I'd move for approval.
Second.
Motion has been properly made and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And then finally, we have the establishment of a new hiring list for the Richmond Fire Department.
Good evening, Board. James Clark, Assistant Chief, Richmond Fire. Richmond Fire requests approval of list of candidates from the 2026 application process. The list will be effective January 1, 2026 until exhausted.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion has been properly made and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And if there's no further business at this time, we are adjourned.